Hey there everyone, been a while, but it's time for another vlog. Now, this week I got inspired by something specific. This. This is a hard drive that I finally got to back up the terabyte drive that I have. I've got all of my Doctor Who digitized on this, that way it gets backed up first of all if anything happens to the DVDs, but that one back there, I think if you've seen the Oculus one, you'll have seen it on my desk over there. But I got this to back up that way there's some, well, you don't want to keep something backed up in just one place. You want backups of backups, in other words. That way if something happens to the backup, you've still got a backup. That sort of thing. It's one of those weird sentences. But the point is, I ordered this and I did not expect a terabyte to look like this. Technology has come a long way since I was in high school. I remember when the thumb drive, when that first came out, how miraculous it was, because I was in the generation where in school we were still using floppy disk. You know, those things that some kids will go, what the heck's a floppy disk? But those of you that knew what a floppy disk was probably went through the same thing. You looked at a thumb drive, and the things were only like several megabytes to begin with, right? And you went, wait, how many floppy disk? This thing is like 100 floppy disk? And I remember for us, what the big thing in high school was, first of all, we had to convince them to let us use these things. I don't think it was until senior year that we finally convinced them, look, we're tired of floppy disk, let us use thumb drives. And they actually let us. But I remember making PowerPoint presentations for classes, and whenever we still had a floppy disk, having to be very judicious about what images I would use because of the fact that I didn't have a lot of room. You have like 4 images and it'd fill up a floppy disk. So suddenly we have a thumb drive and we get to be a bit more creative with our presentations and make them better as a result. I mean, that's just something, but all in all, just the fact that technology seems to constantly be shrinking, that all of a sudden we're able to have something like an iPod where it's got all of that tech, or let me reach back here, it's actually behind me, have an iPad or tablet. Let's not go with just Apple, shall we? I just happen to have an iPad, but have a tablet, something that's that thin, that actually allows us to do all of the stuff we've got, when back in the day, whenever I first dealt with computers, the things would kill you if one of them dropped on your head. Now, that would just give you a bit of a bruise, but you'd still survive. It just fascinates me, in my short time of life, in the 24 years that I've been on this earth, how much technology has changed. It's actually gotten to the point to where I can have old man rants to people that are still in school. I shouldn't be able to have those yet, but technology is something that creates a greater, I won't go divide, although I guess that could be the word. It creates a great divide, but it does the opposite as well. It brings people together where we can all talk about technology, whatever age we are, and we have a common ground, especially when it comes to how things have changed. So, tell you what, how was technology whenever you were a kid? Because people that are older than me will even go further and say, you think computers were big whenever you were dealing with? Let me tell you what our computers were like. I know, they were huge. Their first computers took up rooms, for Pete's sakes. So I'd love to hear from you guys' perspective. Leave a comment below if you want to. And if you want to find all the other vlogs, go to tscn.tv/vlog. So until next time, live your life, and see you guys. This has been a production of the Samcast Network. tscn.tv. What's your passion?